Tonight we Harry Game Lords have been playing Moku Tower, the endless column from Moku. What did we think? Find out! Slightly Betty James here. Yes, I am recovering from surgery. I'm fine. So we've reviewed in the past Moku Tower, a classy game for adults like Dave. This game is Moku Tower, the endless column, which never ends, even though there's a finite number of cubes and it's completely fine. Well stoked. So we've got a prototype, but I just want to go through this. Look at this. There's a baggie, which is nice. There's so many wooden rocks. There's these stackers here. So this is the dark stacker, the pale stacker, and the dice. So there are 3 roles in this party game. As you go around the table, you're going to have somebody who is the dark stacker. They are going to be drawing the challenge. So get this number of rocks this high. So for example, it could be getting 1 big rock at least and getting it 4 high. Or getting a tiny rock. Maybe you need to get a pale rock in there. Meanwhile, the pale stacker is opposite them, challenging them at the battle of speed, building their tower as fast as they can. And it is a race. It's a race to see who can get their dexterous fingers working as carefully as possible to build their tower. Meanwhile, the invader has 2 dice. They are rolling these dice and finding out what happens. There are 3 different things that the dice do. Firstly, it could be time. Dice indicates when the round is over and you just stop, see if somebody's won. Secondly, they might introduce a gift. And that gift is a challenge, which makes things harder. So, for example, we had one where Pete had to hold his stacker and build on top of it like that. We had one which was right hands only. We had one which was making it shorter than the opposition's tower, which is really difficult to do whilst you're mid-game. And finally, the final thing you can do with your dice is an attack. And there it is. There is a what looks like a coaster. You have to touch it to the table. And then, I never did this successfully, flick a rock at the one of the towers and knock it over. I don't know why. Dave only aimed for me. It's because I'm such an immense threat in dexterity games. So, what did I think? In comparison to Moku Tower especially, I prefer this one. Is because I'm a child inside. A child with a beard. And it is more colourful, it's fun. I love that the way that the dice come into it. I think that's a great way to involve the other players around the table. Yeah, I prefer this to the other one. I'm not a classy gentleman. I enjoy silly things with colour on and all that kind of stuff. I really love the Japanese aesthetic that they brought in. It's always nice handling wood as you're stacking it up on a stacker like this. The only thing that I've got to say about this is sometimes when you're rolling the dice, you roll 2 hourglasses on your first roll. And that, I don't know, I think is just a bit of a harsh round for the people who are playing it. So I would recommend, I don't know, this is a prototype, so they might change this. I'd recommend them only having 1 hourglass on there because otherwise it just ends the rounds too quickly. Otherwise, just house rule it because at the end of the day, it's a party game. I would recommend this to people. I'd recommend this to like a family. This is something that you can play with your kids. I've got a friend at work who's just loved the original of this game. Yeah, lots of good things about it.
Bearded Lady here, and yes, this is a beautiful, beautiful game. Like the original Moku Tower, beautiful wooden pieces that are crafted like stones. Ooh, wonderful. And as you're playing the game, there's that beautiful smell from the different types of wood that have been used. I also love the artwork in this. I mean, the artwork isn't really throughout the game too much. It's a dexterity game, but just really like the backs of the cards. Fantastic. And then, of course, that follows onto the box art as well. Brilliant stuff. So, yes, here are the cards, the mission cards, and then you have the challenge cards. I also really enjoyed the dice element, and although this it kind of there's 3 active players going around. One person with the dice, then there's the 2 that are challenging each other with the building of the tower. I like this bit. It's really cool. And actually, other people sat around the table can join in the banter, join in the fun. A fun game, a fun party game, and actually something that it moves around from player to player really quickly. A good game. So do check this one out. Loved it.
Moku Tower, Endless Column. Really, really simple. Great fun. What a wonderful little filler game. Start of the night. This would be brilliant just to warm things up. You could play it with a gaming group, but again, if you like people, if you've got youth groups or that kind of thing, or just kind of a family group, this would be perfect for. It makes sense straight away. You know what you're doing. There's no complex explaining of rules to be done. You get it started, and I love the fact we played it as a 4, and you were involved 3 out of the 4 goes around the table. There's only one time when you're not doing anything, and but there's still a lot to watch and lots of fun to be had when you're that player. I could even see at 6 or 7 you would manage this because you are rotating so quickly. It's not a game with AP or anything like that. This is 30 seconds, 20 seconds, maximum probably 45, 50 seconds, because you're constantly rolling the dice. And the minute you roll those 2 timers, that's it. Game over. Round is done. So you can keep it moving and you're just swapping them around the table. So it's great fun. You can combine it with the original as well to make a much bigger game. And you can imagine potentially even having a couple of these. If you did have a youth group of 10, 15 kids, you could get a couple of sets and have 2 or 3 sets moving round and have some kind of crazy game going on. Really, really liked it. Lots of fun. It's dead simple. Big thumbs up from this guy.
Hi, Dave the Grey. I can't juggle, but I'm going to hold these in my hands if
Dave.
I can.
Go on, Dave.
Way! Now, I'm normally, because I'm old, really rubbish at dexterity games.
It's true.
Mainly because there's a time element involved and everything just goes everywhere. This, I was actually really good at, and I won by miles. So, definite 2 thumbs up to start with just for that.
We felt sorry for you, Dave.
Yeah, they never feel sorry for me, by the way. But nice, big, chunky, tactile. Surprisingly difficult sometimes because none of these have actual parallel sides, so you need to figure out one that slopes that way goes with sort of one that slopes the other way, and you end up being able to then put the third one on top. But lovely pieces, nice wood, smells gorgeous. What more to say? It's great for that, 10 minute, 20 minute, just get it out, have a quick play with it, put it back in the box. Awesome stuff.